if Pango gets off to a good start, I mean, his laning stage is a bit of a weakness, but if it is a Pango 4, Darkseer can kind of enable you. So gives him some flexibility. Moon can play it mid, KP again can play it off and give it to the support if you want, but the emphasis that Fnatic have at the moment on all of their physical damage, Pango can definitely disrupt that in these fights.
I really don't want KP to play Pango, to be honest. Like, the little farm priority he has in the team, I don't think he can get away with that on Pango.
Yeah.
Like, even on Darkseer, it's a little bit iffy, to be honest. Like, Darkseer still needs his items, and that's been the biggest downfall for SMG in this group stage, for me so far at least, that KP just doesn't get farm. They just don't let him get it.
Are they putting a lot more emphasis on maybe their position 4 having too much farm, or is it just still kind of the play style of KP? He's always been sacrificial. Maybe if he takes like a step back, can still get his farm, and it can, someone else can kind of suffer a little bit.
I mean, that's something we have talked about quite a bit, right? Like, these offlaners right now are very important to enable your team. And if you're just under-farmed and you're sacrificing yourself all the time, you're not that strong force that the other team has, and then Dota becomes very hard to play. Speaking of which, Fnatic probably going to pick up the second support now to leave open the offlane for the last pick, potentially.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, clock, okay.
Dire team ban.
Instant bat.
Bad Rider against Juggernaut. I mean, like, they're just really answering, potentially even over-answering the TA again.
Yeah.
It's a mid-Bad Rider for sure. But you could literally just put Juggernaut middle now and TA safe lane. And you're going to be in a super good position.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
They've got to ban the... What's left?
Dire
Legion.
ban.
Legion, I don't know how... No one's playing Omni Knight at all, and they've already picked up the Abaddon. So I feel like you have to get rid of Death's Legion Commander in a game like this where you've got a Bat Rider. A hard dispel is so valuable against the Bat Rider.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm looking through the pool. What else they might want to have?
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, Legion is the obvious one, but it's probably going to get banned. So we're going to look for a replacement. What could that be? There's not a whole lot of good heroes left on the table, to be honest, to answer a Bad Rider.
Is Omni Knight just truly dead? Like, we don't see that hero as much.
I like Omni, but most people don't. So, like, I think just Guardian Angel is too OP, honestly. It just gives you way too much time of immunity. The Heavenly Grace is super strong with the status assistance. I think it's just like always, right? Like, one team is going to pick it up eventually, they're going to own, and then the team's like, oh, wow, this hero is pretty good.
Yeah, China were doing that for quite a while, actually playing the Omni Knight as a support. That's still when we saw kind of other teams really start to implement it as well. But since then, it really hasn't gotten too much love. And I'm really intrigued by it because, again, we haven't seen as much experimentation. They don't ban the Legion, which is mind-blowing to me, considering it's one of Death's favorite heroes. We saw it a lot through the closed qualifiers for the international. Ponlo was harping on the fact that Death thrives on this Legion commander, and the fact that they leave it available is really surprising to me.
I'm wondering whether they're scared of Enigma. Like, you have pretty good heroes against Enigma anyways. Yeah, interesting.
Dire team pick.
All right, well,
see what SMG picks last. Maybe they have some really good Legion answer in mind.
Fnatic's turn to pick. Luna.
All right, Luna is one of the better ones for sure. Doesn't really match up great into the Juggernaut all TA though.
Yeah, I remember we saw this.
I still think you can get away with it. Like, you can still pick Legion, and you should be completely fine.
Well, what do you think the lane's going to be? Probably Legion Clock, because you want the Enchanters versus the Darkseer?
5 seconds.
Yeah, Legion Clock against Abaddon Luna. It's not the easiest lane, but you should be able to get away with it.
Do you just play for pause in that lane? Because it feels like double melee, and you don't really have much kill threat on the Abba.
Legion Commander.
Oh, that's very surprising.
Yep, crazy.
But yeah, you could also get away with Legion Eng, if you really wanted to, because it makes the lane quite a bit stronger, and Clock is also quite decent against the Pangoli Darkseer lane. So we'll see if they choose to do that. But if I was Fnatic, I think I would just switch it up. I would put Juggernaut middle, TA safe lane, and you would do really well on those on those 2 lanes, I think.
Do you then want to see Fnatic try and maybe smoke up the start, get information on how SMG are trying to play the lanes, maybe drop a deep observe ward or something like that?
I think it's pretty obvious how they play already. Like Moon has never played offlane, I think. So once he picks up his bad rider, it's pretty much locked in at his
10
middle.
seconds
And
remaining.
sure, Darkseer on paper sounds quite good against TA in lane, but that new
5
meld
seconds remaining.
is actually really good. Like you want to tower dive a TA, she's gonna shred you.
What is the
So that
starting
matchup
armor?
isn't as bad as it used to be.
Darkseer does have pretty good starting armor, so...
It does.
But, I mean, level 1 meld is ridiculous. What, 5? And it lasts
Yeah.
for 12 seconds? So dumb.
I don't know what armor Darkseer has. I think it's 4 or 5. But if you get put to 0 and you want to tower dive, you take the full damage,
Yeah.
you are going to die. Because there's a clockwork there too, the battery installed, of course. But I don't think they'll do it. They'll probably play cookie cutter. TA versus Bad Rider isn't super terrible if you just retreat to the jungle a little bit earlier. Just play the macro game. Just gotta make sure that you don't feed kills to the Bad Rider.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important about the macro game, like you just said, because either team have ways to really flash farm the Ancients. You got Luna, even Bat Rider, we've seen for quite a while. Try and farm up the stacks, get an early boot to travel, get active on the map. Fnatic, they've got the Templar Assassin who's able to do that at an incredible rate as well. So do you feel like we're going to see a lot of emphasis from either teams trying to infiltrate and maybe control these Ancients early to disrupt that?
Yeah, I think that's pretty important just in Dota in general right now. Like the small creep camp next to the mid lanes are super important. I would love to see those blocked because both of those heroes love to farm them. And then probably you want to sentry the Ancients as well at like minute 3-ish. This macro game or this macro aspect of Dota has become like so important, especially this patch with like all the stacking bounty increase. How much is it now? 35%, I think. Yep. Just so much gold that you get.
Do you feel like it kind of impacts what position 4s you pick up in a way to make it easier to stack the Ancients, or is that just looking at it a little bit too much?
I think you still just want to pick the +4 that suits the position, the situation of the game the most. If it's a support that can stack the Ancients easily, then that's nice, but it doesn't have to be, I don't think. And to begin with, like most supports can do it anyway. Like even a Clockwork could just rocket flare it if need be.
We so
they see it again. We have seen a team get first battle like this before.
Oh, maybe they're the ones that's going to pick up first blood. Because they bring the numbers. SMG with this cute little wraparound, thanks to the vision on the high ground, secures them first blood as Arfu picks it up. They're going to try and chase
I can't
Sunjab.
believe what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, how cocky was that from DJ? He just walks in there all the way to get hit by the tower twice. They didn't even have to try to kill him. He was basically like, take me.
There's just a bait. He's wanted to give up that first blood. Maybe see if they could get some extra bounties. Come on, that's what he was going for, right?
Yeah. Who got the first blood anyway?
It was Arfu. So the Pango.
Okay. That's still acceptable if you're the mid laner. You're not gonna flame the support too much.
So they are not gonna swap up the lanes here. It will be Chuen on the Templar Assassin versus Moon's Bat Rider. So we'll see how this matchup fares. I mean, it does get very difficult for the Templar Assassin because of the damage over time and just the fact that the Bat Rider is easily able to chase you down. There's a way that they can potentially offset this with rotations. Are the supports able to kind of help out TA through the early couple of minutes?
I really think it's like for TA, it's also all about surviving a couple of waves. Level 3, 4, you can already go to the jungle and farm just as fast as the Bad Rider. So on paper, it's a really bad lane, but really all you gotta do is just be not greedy. You know, like, you're gonna miss a couple of CS for sure, but just play the safe game, level up. Because once you have traps on level 6, the lane's actually not that bad at all.
Well, she at the moment only has 2 last hits from the first 2 waves, so and didn't get any last hits on the first wave, so it was a bit of a rough start here for the TA. We'll see how that's going to impact like a very early item timings to stick in the lane. Are there any other lanes we are worried about kill wise? Is top or bot going to be more action between the two?
I think bot lane, the only heroes that can die are from Dire. Like, they should never ever die on this Juggernaut.
Denied.
Enchantress potentially, if he gets caught out of position with like a good lucky shot. But realistically, the only kill lane should be top.
And you
Like,
were kind
or
of
mid if you overstep, right?
Roger at the moment is taking a fair bit of damage. They'll turn it back on jabs though. Roger can just eat so much harassment in the lane with that aphotic shield level.
Yeah, they really gotta be careful top. Like we said, the lane Battle Luna is strong because you have this Orb of Venom curse plus mini stun from the beam, and you're not super survivable on the Clockwork. They're gonna play it slow. It's not one of those killer lanes with Clockwork. It's not Clockwork Darks here or anything like that.
Would you rather see Fnatic then kind of playing to cut the wave instead of going head up against the SMG duo?
Oh, cutting wave is so difficult against the Battle with Orb of Venom though. Once you get cursed up, you just can't trade anymore.
So now the Phil is pretty forced to just lane into this, which is going to be difficult. I mean, Death is not going to get... I mean, he's got 11 CS at the moment, which is pretty decent. I feel like experience is the big factor there. And we're going to see Jab starting to fall back and make some stacks, because also TA is going to need a lot of assistance. So would you be worried, though, again, with the Fnatic lanes? Like, top and mid don't look the greatest, but bot at least should be a win.
Bot should be pretty easy. Like, TA, you're going to catch up eventually as well, no matter what. Like, it's just really important. Like, this Fnatic lineup is not playing to win the lanes early. You're just playing for the mid game. So you don't want to feed kills top or mid, and KP actually dies, yeah.
Well, Fed kill down bot. He's got no level in the surge because of DJ's potential to purge that off instantly. So he was holding a skill point for a while, leveled up the vacuum a little bit too late to get some distance there, and that's a nice kill to pick up. You were highlighting that this lane should go pretty well for them, and already showing.
Yeah, didn't expect him to kill a Darks here though, but Afu? Mid one actually dying top. Wow. Solo?
That's Death's Legion for you. Holy.
It doesn't matter whose Legion it is, you should never die solo there.
How does he? So he's got a bottle in this lane playing all on sustain. He's not winning the sustain
he might be dying
game
right
at the
now.
moment. Death! Oh my.
Close. But I don't know how Luna dies to solo Legion. Doesn't even have Orb of Venom.
Afu? He's in trouble in the river. One more impetus shock. Very nicely played. Even Chuen getting involved as well with a little bit of experience. He's 5 at the moment.
Bye-bye, DJ.
DJ is going to be the retaliation kill from Moon's Batrider. Might even try and annoy the Templar Assassin as well out of the jungle.
So, we see TA though up to a respectable net worth now. Same net worth as the Batrider, so we can see it's really not that bad. Like, that's why TA is so good right now. All your bad matchups, you just keep out farming in the jungle, even if you do lose lane. I think in one of our casts, we've seen like a TA die like 3 times instead of the same net worth as the Viper.
Yeah.
No problem.
Do you feel like they should have put priority on blocking the camps? Because we are still really yet to see his KP. Will attempt the TP out down, but he should have enough health to make it away. He's got to go all the way back to base though, and it's 1 death, 26 last hits. But yeah, do you feel like we should be seeing SMG actually block a lot of the camps? Because if Juent can't play the lane versus the Batrider, you know he's going to be playing the jungle. But the fact that they left that open for him.
Yeah, as I said. Oh, okay, no, Def actually dying this time around, okay. But he dropped really low again on the Luna. Let's be careful there. They were actually looking for the TA. Couldn't manage to find her. But I do think blocking these ancients is super important. As I said, like minute 3, 4, I would have loved it if you just sentryed it straight away. As you can see where DJ is playing. Like, he's playing in the enemy triangle just so they can't get the stacks up at all. Like, there's no stack. Simply because of his positioning on the map. But SMG is not really replicating that at all. So there's quite a bit of ancient stacks. A lot of hard cam stacks as well.
Yeah, they did just place an Absorb Ward on Die, but I imagine Fnatic are going to deward that shortly because they did see the movement from SMG. They didn't see Arfu though, because Arfu was invised up, so maybe they are not 100% aware of this. Let's see.
I mean, you wouldn't really expect the Bad Rider to just fly in there alone, though.
Yeah.
So. They instantly dewarded the big camp as well.
KP might be
Jabs, if he gets
dead.
lucky shot.
Don't run off.
They've got Omni on Raven, and KP still doesn't have a TP available. He's gonna try and dodge the slash to the neutrals. Meanwhile, back over by the Radiant Triangle camp. Clockwork with a TP out just in the nick of time.
Yeah, another block on the Ancients. And another block on the hard camp as well. But one sentry can deward both of those. They know exactly where the sentries are.
Denied.
Be careful there.
He's
How's
gonna get
Death doing? Close to 6. And Jabs right away with the sentry ward. And it's gonna deward both sentries, I believe, yeah. Oh, that's rough. If he sees
Can you
it.
see it? Jabs? Oh no.
Incoming.
Dire's
He's gonna see it
bottom
now,
tower
but
is under attack.
what do we got by the river? DJ should be getting killed off here. He's only got 1 point nature's attendance. Actually, Moon's not gonna commit forward, and Arthur's got a TP, but Battery Assault just in the nick of time. Chien as well is level 7, and well, this is really worrying because you highlighted when the Templar Assassin got picked up that Fnatic had played it, I believe, 3 times in a row for him, and you know, his KDA on those games has been absolutely stupid, as Death should be able to pick up his first duel of the game. Maybe went for it a little bit too early. They'll push him back, and in fact, Death still gets the duel victory.
Yeah, well done by them, and that's a massive stack waiting for the TA now. Are they gonna contest it? Doesn't look like it, they have no vision. And of course, Jabs is also protecting it. And that's always the beauty of TA. Just as minute 7
Radiant's
hits, you
bottom
get all these
tower
neutral
is under
items
attack.
instantly from, of course, the ancient camps. So easy.
KP might be dead again. Do they have the damage before the TP? Yes, they do. So this Darkseer 3 deaths, they picked it into the Enchantress counter and then answered by the Juggernaut as well. And you see Darkseer is incredibly struggling right now in this laning stage.
Yeah, it has to be expected though. Like, they knew what they were picking it into. So, yeah, another death on Rogi, maybe, if he gets the duel.
He should be able to get the victory here. Chen, can he close the distance? Yes, sir. Lucky shot. Not going to find the proc, and this is really worrying now for SMG. I mean, the net worth is relatively even, but TA got all those Ancients for free. The lane that Death had went better than the Darkseer. I mean, he's got 2 duel victories already. Oof.
Bad Rider rotating in bottom though, so they're looking for a potential kill on the Juggernaut.
Have they got Lasso? They do. Boots of Traveler as well on Moon. They just need to stick on Raven. He knows he can't just TP out because they will have a cancel on the Lasso. So that is a big pick off to find on Raven as DJ scurries away and snags that bounty rune.
Yeah, a little bit over aggressive, but SMG has to be very careful that they don't bleed away more heroes at this ancient area. It's not under their control anymore. I think they just have to give it up at this point.
And still 0 stacks as well for mid one's Luna, who has opted for the Dragonlance, the early stats into the Yasha. It looks like she does have that Possessed Mask, so not really requiring the Mask of Madness pick up.
Yeah. Possessed Mask is so good for all these carry heroes early on.
Radiant's bottom tower
Should
is
really
under
start using my
attack.
token idea.
Well, we'll see. Didn't they say a new patch coming at the end of the Battle Pass? So
Yeah, when is that? Like a
Radiant's
week?
bottom
yeah,
tower
I think
has fallen.
like 12 days I saw. Something like that.
Just as my quarantine ends. Nice present.
Let's go.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I can get back into the struggle of solo rank. Hell yeah, dude.
Ace, rock it on.
Just grind that out.
So we see
Dire's
Juggernaut go
top
for
tower has
not
fallen.
a greedy item build, of
Radiant's
course,
courier
because you already
has
have the
been
TA.
killed.
Can't really allow yourself to be too greedy. But TA is farming super well, obviously. But neck and neck with the Luna, who didn't have any stacks. So mid one is doing very well for himself as well.
Do it with flair.
Yeah, we see mid one's now started to fall back around the triangle. So Radiant have had tabs on this area for the entire time with that observe ward. SMG haven't looked to try and really close down the triangle and make it free for mid one.
Raven should have died down there again. I can't believe that he did that. Why is every carry doing this? Like, if Darkseer follows him, he's actually just dead. Because he used the spin. He can't TP out because of vacuum, of course. Man, these people are all living on knife's edge. I don't know why this is happening. Like, they're all top tier carry players. They should not be there. But yeah, Afu, one creep away from 6, just gets it. So maybe he'll survive the game because of it.
See if they got the
Answer is
damage.
no.
Cogs push back, beautifully played from Jabs. The rainbow TPs are coming through from SMG. I want an answer to this aggression from Fnatic. Looks like they might only be able to catch Jabs though, as he sacrifices his life, running up towards the opposite direction of the retreat angle from Fnatic. So a 1-for-1.
It was quite lucky for Fnatic, honestly, that Moon just didn't have mana. Otherwise, they would have died with another hero for sure.
What are we feeling for Death's Legion commander this game? He's got the hood into the blink queued up, hasn't bought a component of the hood just yet. Do you like the potential rush the blink, or?
Yeah, it's gotta be a blink. Also just safeguard against the Bad Rider, who's gonna have his blink soon. The initiation potentially. It's much better than a hood this game. Because you don't really need another frontliner, I don't think. You got Enchant with a good clockwork. Should be able to do an okay job. Arcane Rune on Bad Rider now, this could be really scary.
Well, Afu's gonna start the charge with the Rolling Thunder. Moving on forward, straight on top of DJ around the choke point. The Enchantress not really gonna get too much help out of his fellow team, but it looks like they want their own answer. Down to the southern side. But a big ultimate's being used by Raven, even bigger overwhelming odds as well. SMG take the Q, and they're gonna end up losing multiple. As they'll drag them up on the high ground with the lasso. Qian should be able to get back to safety, but Jab's still with Raven. He'll back up to full thanks to the healing ward. Moon, if he can stack up the sticky napalm, they won't have a Presty attack way to purge it off, and that enables him to secure a double kill. But he's got to be careful now. Firefly's still got a relatively decent duration left, but Raven's movement speed if he wants to continue chasing.
Yeah, it was a rough team fight. Luckily, the overwhelming odds saved it for them because that Omni Slash went all in on Abaddon with a borrowed time up, of course, and did absolutely nothing. But coming in clutch from Death. Still ends up being an even trade, courtesy of the Arcane Rune of Bad Rider. But they have to be really careful how they fight around this Luna.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it's off.
Oof. So many close calls. If he gets a lucky shot there,
Mid one.
the Iron Shell on.
He's in trouble. Blink Jewel. They've got the reveal here. Is the damage going to be there? They need to get on top of him, but the calls aren't. Finally, Qian. Blink on forward. Claims the kill on top of mid one. Now with the rest of SMG, they're going to try and collapse in the backline as the Templar Assassin loses all of her fraction charges. A quick use of the Presty attack, but still the Templar Assassin chased down and brought to an end. They'll turn their attention now with the Rolling Thunder. Great bounce back from Afu. Beautiful usage of the ultimate. Locks in no retreat for Fnatic as Jabs will also be chased down and makes it a third as KP getting some much necessary net worth out of that team fight.
Yeah, they infiltrate the triangle, which is a good move on paper, but you have to be so careful when you do it. It's the perfect area for Bad Rider, Darkseer, and especially Pangolier to fight. You just saw the Rolling Thunder completely destroyed their team fight. And it's TA without BKB against Darkseer, Bad Rider, you can't really fight. Like, he blinked in, gets one kill on the Luna, but then it's just trapped and can't do anything afterwards.
Yeah, and that's the first death as well for Qian here, so... I mean,
which is fine.
Yeah.
KDA is not ruined yet.
Not yet. We'll see if Fnatic are able to really enable him this game. You know, the Blink press the attack potential. I mean, Death has maxed out his W, so this is going to give them a lot of defensive factors, but they don't really have it with the rest of the team. I mean, Enchantress is building into what looks like a hood, maybe? I don't know if she's going to commit to a pipe or not.
Radiant's middle tower
Potentially a
is
Holy
under
Locket
attack.
first just to get some additional health. This game is looking pretty rough right now because Raven is quite poor, unfortunately. And Tia is still ways off her Desolator, and especially her BKB. Blink Lasso is now online, So whoever the lasso should just die pretty easily.
Death.
Who's on the menu?
Don't know if they saw Moon in the invis, but Raven's a little bit away from the team, so Death has to connect with the Jug. Do we want to see Fnatic just slow this game down a little bit because of how behind Raven is and TA still needing a little bit more farm for our next item?
Yeah, I do think they need more items to farm, to fight efficiently. Juggernaut, they're going on Bad Rider.
Slowed up thanks to the trap. Dire connecting to Moon is going to try and TP out, but the Jewel has the cancel. But now mid one, he's shown up on the Luna. This Eclipse is bouncing back to the neutral creeps out of all. And now they've got to be very careful with their positioning on SMG. As Pango gets a blink away, they'll just lose Moon on the Bat Rider though.
Yeah, you can just see the power of Tier once again. It's just a random trap in the trees, catches up Moon. For whatever reason, it slows by how much? 60% is it? Yeah, of course, 60%, so you just can't move, you can't do anything about it. And you just die. It's a great hero concept, I love it.
Now I see SMG are a little bit worried about Roshan as well. Still too early for Fnatic without this Deso, but I love at least the heads up play, especially with that observer ward in the area as well. So difficult to walk up near the stairs and de-ward that for Radiant. But they are still once again looking for mid one. Smoke pops, jump in. Arfu doesn't have the Rolling Thunder just yet, but it's going to have to try and rely on the lucky shot and the help of Roger to keep mid one alive, which he's able to with the Crimson Guard as well. SMG, they're able to turn it back around to their higher ground as the lasso controls Moon. Now they can hunt down Raven too. It's with the Blade Fury on cooldown. He's going to try and play around through the wall. But Arfu can lock him in with a Rolling Thunder, 3 down. And it's as soon as you don't get that instant burst of the Luna, they punish.
And the Roshan is gone now too. Fnatic keeps shooting themselves in their own feet because like they just play way too over-aggressively. Like they invade the triangle at the wrong time. Now they invade the enemy jungle at the wrong time. When everybody's ready, you don't have the right amount of farm yet to take these fights. You need the Desolator, and you need some more items on the Juggernaut as well. Like your damage output is very limited right now. You saw the Luna, lost 400 health. Was nowhere close to dying.
Yeah, just with how close they are to this Desolator. And I mean, you just picked up a Maelstrom, but you're playing a little bit too active right now in Fnatic. They feel like they need to be the ones pushing the tempo, when now it's resulted in you being 5,000 net worth behind, the Luna having a double damage rune in the bottle along with the Aegis, so this could be really starting to snowball out of control now.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I don't know why Fnatic is pressuring themselves so much. They picked up a dual core that's very strong in the late game, even Legion Commander as well. So your strong timing is not now, but later into the game. So just keep it safe. You know, every even trade is good for you. You don't need to pressure so much.
And you take a
now
look.
It's gonna get difficult though.
Yeah. I mean, I have some exceptional team fight heroes. You got out of that laning stage greediness with the Pangoli position 4, and then you take a look at Radiant, like Enchantress, Clockwork supports. These are pretty solid supports, but they are not going to enable your team fight as much as what like a Pango could, or you know, a Darkseer as well. So it's definitely been showing through these past couple of fights.
I mean, even a Bad in the mid late game is also such an amazing support. And now that you bled away so many kills, what is the answer from Fnatic? Like, this TA can't really fight at all until you get the BKB now.
Double damage.
Honestly, if SMG want to, they could be knocking on the high ground right now.
You know, this DD on mid one can definitely enable them. See if they want to drop some vision down. They're actually looking for a catch here as SMG is smoked up. Yes, they are. Radiant,
one pick-off here could just spell GG. Like, if this TA dies, or anyone without buyback, the game could just be over.
And how do you start the fight on Fnatic? It has to be everyone at the same time. Like, Legion has to jump one, and Clockwork has to try and zone out the Abbot on the back line. Yeah, they just used it previously, Moon. Probably going to reveal there's a ward there with that jump. Not catching anyone. But they're going to be careful. The Glaive's bouncing around now with the tier 3 downtown. As Jab's hook shots in, but it's got no follow-up. The communication there from Fnatic is not on point. As they lose one. And now this has to be a full set of racks that you're giving up as TJ. Is that enough with the Glaive? Still the sentry drop. Press the tap. Wow. So
can't fight
close.
at all.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom
This is
barracks
why I
are
told
under
you
attack. Radiant's
I
bottom
consider
barracks
Juggernaut to be
has
on the
fallen.
bottom of my carry list. Like, you can't pick it that early and expect to do great. Like, on paper, you even have great matchups. Like, Darkseid lane is easy. You don't really care about Bad Rider. You don't really care about Luna. But he still can't do anything this game. Getting massively outfarmed by the Luna. Nothing to say.
Is it just the factor that the Jug needs
Radiant's middle
like a
tower is
farming
under
item to
attack.
keep up against someone like a Luna? So if he dies a couple times, then you just lose the map control and...
Well, I consider Jug to be like the ultimate anti-eye carry. You can join some teamfights early with the healing ward and stuff, sure. But ultimately what you're playing for is to be like the
Radiant's
super
middle
big
tower is under
late game monster. Like
Radiant's
one
middle
Omni Slash
tower
just
top
decimates
lane?
the whole team fight.
Moon? Jien? Who's gonna get the
Whoa.
kill?
Wait,
He's got the
killed him?
backup, but Arfu's coming over. Maybe he can juke the first Rolling Thunder, but Arfu has the shard to play with. So gotta be kind of careful. Man, you look
Arfu's
at this
owning.
pain go.
He's level 14, Death is
Radiant's
13.
middle tower
He can't
is
blink
under
away as
attack.
well. But they're just going up high ground. They don't care about the top lane. He's just trying to make as much space as possible. They're leading with the jewel though. It's just jabs to help out with the damage, and the swashbuckle's back up in a
Can't
couple
get
of
it.
seconds. Look at the Tassams coming out dead. Still, it's so much space. You're losing a
mid
full
lane.
set of racks mid. You've got to go back.
Well, it doesn't matter if you go back now, it's too late.
They don't have TPs.
Radiant's middle
Two
tower
sides
has
in
fallen.
20 minutes.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is
Clock
under
doesn't have a
attack.
TP. Legion doesn't have a TP. Mid one's just trying to hit the tier 4s ever so
tier 4s.
slowly. They've got ages for another 30 seconds. Moon, he's able to connect with the rest of the team as well.
You say slowly, but the towers are falling quickly. Alright, now they're gonna
Jeez.
respect it a little bit. But yeah, the damage has certainly been done. 2 sides down, 10k lead. Just 22 minutes in. This might not be recoverable.
They're going to smoke up. Let's see if they can recover from this with a 5-man smoke.
And the balance
Rogi,
says, it says nothing yet.
Man.
Aegis is out, so that's the timing. But 2.6k
oh, they
health
see
on the
Moon.
Luna.
They see Moon. Trap's gonna give the vision on the high ground and take a burst through Arfu, but again he gets a shot off the Rolling Thunder forward, away from the jewel, but he still dies. They'll claim the victory. Radiant, how can you now
you in
continue on with the
trouble?
fight? Xian is in trouble here. The refraction gets ripped apart. The Firefly damage over time. Too much for them to handle. They'll drop a solo on this KP. Gonna try and get to the neutrals here. Raven doesn't have a TP though, so he can't Blade Fury into an escape. He's gonna have to try and stand his ground. Rated, they do have the T1 tower to TP to mid one. Now with the Skardis though, Raven just has to try and stand his ground. Maybe Jabs can make some distance here. Move with the blink on forward. Gotta be careful, Chien. Push him further back. A blink. He's also hunting now. Death's got the follow up as well, but Lasso gonna do nothing. Fnatic, maybe they're turning this game back around. 2 full sets. Rax deficit, but Death's in trouble. Pretzi attacks up in a couple seconds. It's not gonna matter. Mid one. The Soul survived from SMG, but can he take it toe to toe? He cannot. Raven and Chien will take the fight, but it's devastating in the net worth.
Yeah, there was a TA buyback as well, of course. Maybe if he gets his BKB up for the next big team fight, they will stand a better chance, but it's 2,000 gold away from that.
Gotcha.
They're rolling in. And
Oh no.
nowhere to
Oh,
go.
nice sidestep.
Radiant's
He's still got the
middle
shard to
tower
play
is under
with.
attack.
And Trenches is coming over as well. You see the damage though with this Iron Shell. They've also got a tier 1, but has anyone got TPs? I mean, Legion doesn't want to buy back for this with how soon he's going to be respawning. Oh, look at the damage with the mount. No way. He's got another refraction charge up shortly. Rogi's not really going to be able to help over too much. Maybe, in fact, a drop of the sentry. Death is just too late. With the jewel now. Do they have the damage through it? Rocket Flare, hookshot, KP somehow still alive. Cogs traps him in. They get the kill. Now Death as well with a press the attack. What is going on? Raven's back alive. They're going to try and chase down SMG. They're lacking the stuns though.
They did kill the buyback target at least, but they are bleeding away heroes, and the gold differential is slowly dwindling, so maybe they can somehow mount a comeback here. It's very difficult though. The T4 towers are taking a beating because they haven't been in base for like 2 minutes. But there's a chance they can still win. It's not over until it's over.
They've
Moon's
only got 2
looking.
heroes. This actually could be an opportunity. You got to be careful now because the rest of SMG are connecting, and they did see mid one running through the river. They've got incredible vision on their high ground. Both the supports in a very difficult spot here to get back to safety as the Cogs though making it difficult. Oh, and they actually close the distance. Moon. Oh no, I thought they were going to make it away at least on one of the supports with that Cogs positioning, but
They're going throne. You know,
Ready-
there's no TA.
yeah, they've got Glyph. Buyback on the Enchantress is available, but the throne's now exposed. Let's see how the
Bounce
cores
City.
are able to do it. TA up in
Do
20
damage.
seconds, but Raven, just the damage from mid one's enough to
DJ,
zone him
DJ.
away with the Blade Fury. Now they can just turn to the throne. The early shard pick up the jewels out, but it doesn't matter. They've lost the Juggernaut, they've lost the Legion, and they've lost game 1 as well as SMG. What a solid performance from them.
Dire victory.
Yeah, well played. Well drafted as well. Fnatic, a couple of question marks in the draft with that early Juggernaut pick. Didn't pay off at all this time around. And SMG just displaying better team play, just better strategy overall. Like the way they moved around the map was superb this game. They know exactly when they're strong, how they're strong, when to abuse the strong timings, and they made it look very easy against Fnatic.
I mean, the game was looking like in a decent position for Fnatic to take it after those laning stage. That went pretty solid for them. You know, we were saying that they were getting a lot of the stacks as well, not being contested, but they just started crumbling around some of their decision making at taking fights before the items, like you were highlighting. You know, they were shooting themselves in the foot. You were almost has Desolator. Raven really wasn't at a stage where it was in full fighting shape as well, but they just kept going, kept running brute force into SMG's team fight prowess, and you know we saw in the end it really bit them in the back as some early barracks advantage, some solid team fighting from Dire, enabling them to take game 1 here in our first series of the day. We'll send this one to a break with game 2 around the corner.